our last presentation, which is by John Roberts. John Roberts is the Executive Director at the International Grooving and Grinding Association and Vice President of the American Concrete Pavement Association's Pavement Restoration Division. He previously served as Vice President of the Northeast Chapter of the American Concrete Pavement Institute.
As mentioned, my name is John Roberts. I'm the Executive Director of the International Grooving and Grinding Association and also the VP of the Pavement Preservation Partnership for the American Concrete Pavement Association, and I am very glad to be with you here today. All right, well, we know there's a lot of choices to make nowadays as we try to optimize and maintain our roadway networks across the country, and that's sort of a good thing because our priorities have shifted in modern times. There's minimal system expansion. We're looking to maintain the present system. It's rare that we see any greenfield paving taking place. Of course, we're tasked with minimizing our traffic disruptions. We got to make sure everybody's safe and sound, and we got to keep our customers happy. We want to make sure we give them a nice, smooth road, a roadway that's quiet. And at the same time, we're going to try to save some money and protect the environment as well. Well, increasingly, we see specifiers around the world using diamond saw cut surface textures to reduce noise, roughness, and increase the friction of our pavements, bridges, tunnels, and runways. And that's because it's economical, long-lasting, effective, and environmentally friendly. And we do see diamond grinding being used in a number of different ways. Certainly more and more bridge decks every day are being diamond ground. And interestingly enough, we see the world of tunnels being around quite a bit, with Australia using diamond grinding as a finished surface or an improved surface on their tunnels. And interestingly, South Korea, which diamond grinds nearly all of their myriad of tunnels that they have across the country, millions of square yards. So for those of you that weren't with us on Monday, just a brief reminder of what diamond grinding is. It's the removal of a thin surface layer of hardened concrete using closely spaced diamond saw blades. It results in a smooth, level pavement surface, and it provides us with a longitudinal texture, which is desirable friction and has low noise characteristics. And there's a number of advantages associated with the saw cut textures as well. The costs are competitive and very stable over time. You can see that the prices, I've been in this position since 1999, and if anything, the prices have gone down for diamond grinding rather than up over that 22-year period. The saw cut textures enhance smoothness, surface friction, and safety, and you can do it in off-peak hours with short lane closures. Additionally, texturing of one lane does not necessarily require grinding of the adjacent lane. It doesn't affect the overhead clearances of bridges, signs, tunnels, and the like. And oftentimes it's used to blend patching and other surface irregularities into a consistent, identical surface. And of course, today sustainability is a ever important deal when it comes to maintaining our highways. And diamond grinding is quite environmentally friendly when you think about it. It's basically using the pavement that we have in place, and we're simply going to refinish the surface. So grinding can take care of faulting at joints and cracks, as you see in the pictures to the right. On top, we have a faulted joint with a rather severely faulted joint. And then the picture on the bottom right corner shows how we can correct that with a single pass of diamond grinding, converting that otherwise dynamic load into a static rolling load with the process of diamond grinding. We can take care of built-in or construction roughness, polished pavement surfaces, wheel path rutting, as Linda had just mentioned, curling and warping, inadequate transverse slope, and of course, unacceptable noise levels. Now, diamond grinding can provide you with a 70% improvement over the pre-grind profile on average. It really depends on the conditions of the pavement that you've been provided with. But just looking at this graphic here, the vertical axis is the roughness. Down at the bottom, 0 inches per mile is tabletop smooth. And if you run up the vertical axis, you can see that in the red line here depicted, we've had roughness of nearly 225 inches per mile on the existing pavement before grinding. That's very, very rough. And then you can see, as depicted by the green trace at the lower part of the graphic, that's after a single pass of diamond grinding. They were able to achieve a nearly 70% improvement over the pre-grind profile. And that was without any repairs, any pothole repairs, any bumps being fixed or anything of the like. And again, 60 inches per mile, that's smoother than some state's requirements for brand new pavement. The state of Kentucky, through the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, actually took a slightly different approach. They took a network approach, looking at their concrete pavements and how smooth they were in general. And, over a 5-year period, they conducted a diamond grinding program to touch the majority of their concrete pavements. And you can see during that time period, the IRI, the International Roughness Index, improved from 112 inches per mile to 74.5 inches per mile in that 5-year period. That was the lowest recorded average of IRI ever covering that 536 lane miles, which they chose to grind. Average price was $188,000 per lane mile. The diamond grinding had an average cost of $2.75 per square yard during that period. Essentially, if you think about it from a network level, being able to reduce the roughness of your network, as did the KTC, it really does provide some favorable impacts related to the performance criteria that was attached to MAP 21 and the FAST Act. As previously mentioned, curling and warping can be improved upon using the diamond grinding product. And as well, we can reduce the tire pavement noise issue at the source. Now, blade spacing in the diamond grinding operation can be optimized, and you can optimize it to address noise or friction or smoothness by working with the blade spacing. The interesting thing is, if you're grinding a pavement because it's rough, at the end of the day, you're getting the noise benefits and the friction benefits as well. They just come along for the ride, which really makes the grinding product attractive and a comprehensive preservation product, no doubt about it. And if you look at the graphic on the right, you'll see that the research conducted by the CP Tech Center shows that diamond grinding was the most quiet concrete pavement surface texture commonly used across the globe. Well, while the industry was investigating tire pavement noise, so was the states of California, Arizona, where they had their own quiet pavement programs in place trying to determine what they could do to reduce tire pavement interface noise. And if you look at the graphic here, again, you see noise gaining in the vertical direction on the vertical axis. On the far right, we have a random transverse timing, which is the loudest, going up to over 112 decibels dBA. And then in the white, we have longitudinal texture, such as longitudinal timing and so on. And then in the blue, furthest to the left, you can see we had the diamond ground sections, which were consistently measured as the quietest concrete pavement surface textures available in both the states of California and Arizona. When it comes to safety, the diamond ground process can retexture a polished surface. And if you look here, we have a sand patch test underway. On the left is a unground section, and you can see that using the sand patch test, the amount of macro texture on the left is considerably less than it is on the right. We can greatly increase the macro texture and by default, the safety of the pavement surface. Further to that point, the Wisconsin DOT and Marquette University found that overall accident rates for ground surfaces were 40% less than for unground surfaces over a 6-year research period, 57% in wet weather conditions, which is a significant reduction in accident rates for sure. And I guess it's worth mentioning that the diamond grinding product can be used on asphalt pavements as well, as depicted with a picture on the upper right there where we have I-70 in Missouri, which was an asphalt section diamond ground several years ago. Not unlike the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which was also diamond ground prior to resurfacing several years ago. Interesting thing is, if you have a noise problem, you do not have to sacrifice friction, and vice versa. If you have a friction problem, you don't have to sacrifice noise. As you can see here, we have on the vertical scale the noise level, lower noise being at the bottom, higher noise as we run up the scale. Across the horizontal axis, we have the friction number. And if you look at the diamond grinding shotgun blast there in yellow, you can see we're delivering the quietest concrete pavement surface while still delivering adequate friction numbers. Also, it's a sustainable product, does provide lower ambient temperatures and energy costs. The light reflective color of the concrete means less energy is required for overhead lighting and cooling in urban areas. Earlier, I mentioned California and the fact that they were involved in testing of noise of their concrete pavement surfaces. It's fair to mention California, along with Texas, are two states that have some of the most exposed concrete lane miles of any of the states in the United States. And I bring that up because Caltrans several years ago did a study where they're looking at the effectiveness of diamond grinding. And they determined that the average life of the diamond ground pavement surface is 16 to 17 years in their state, and that a pavement can be ground at least 3 times without affecting the pavement structurally. And you can locate that report by going to www.igga.net to get a full read. In that report, they found that the diamond grinding extends pavement life, it reduces tire pavement interface noise, it improves texture and skid resistance, and reduces highway user costs through improved fuel economy and lower vehicle maintenance costs. So in summary, this is a challenging time for our industry. Innovative, cost-effective solutions are needed to meet these challenges. Diamond grinding techniques provide sustainable benefits such as increased friction, reduced noise, improved smoothness, and long life. Diamond saw cut textures reduce accidents. Diamond saw cut textures should be programmed into your pavement management systems because they can do one heck of a lot of good. And of course, the International Grooving and Grinding Association and the American Concrete Pavement Association are ready to assist in your concrete pavement needs. Now, we touched on a lot in a very short period of time. I encourage you to take a look at our website again at www.igga.net, either to contact us directly or take a look at the myriad of reports that we have hosted on that website for your use. With that, I'll yield the program back to Ken. And again, I appreciate your attention and time today. Thanks.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.